Today on Catherine Learns Stuff, I'm going to walk you through making these cute shaker Valentine's Day cards. So let's jump in. So let's start designing our Valentine's Day shaker card. The first thing that we need to do when we're designing our card is to create the background of the card so that we know what we're working with here. So I just pulled quickly in a square and I'm going to modify the size to be 10.75 by 8. Now this is about the size of a standard card that you would buy at any store. One of the larger ones, not one of the smaller ones. And I like to do the shaker cards in a little bit larger size because that way they are easier to work with, especially when you have some other minor designs on the card. The next thing that we do once we've got our dimensions selected, I'm going to change the color so that we're working with some Valentine's Day colors. So just a nice light pink. And I'm going to add in my score line right away so that I don't forget about it later. And I need to have my score line to be 8 inches in height. And I'm going to center her right on there. And now I'm just going to attach this together. And that's my card body. Now I like to make my cards with square edges, but I mean obviously you could have just picked in a rectangle that is one with the rounded edges and modified the dimensions as well to be 10.75 and 8 as well, and have it look just like that. I just prefer the square edges on the cards instead of the round edges, so I'm going to delete this guy, but you could have a rounded card instead. So this is my working space that I'll be having for my Valentine's Day card. Next I want to pull in a heart, and this is going to be the basis of my design since it's for Valentine's Day. I am going to now just modify the size and pulling it out. I kind of want it to be maybe like that big. And so that's going to be my, that's going to be my heart. Now I'm going to duplicate it because if I make any changes by accident to the size of the dimensions, I've got a spare one in the background. And this is my working heart. This is going to be the shaker piece. So what I'm going to do is I will be adding in a back piece and a front piece. So the back piece will make another duplicate, and we're going to change the color to white so that I have a nice white heart on my paper here. So this is going to go like that, and that's going to be filled in with the shaker bit. And now my other heart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I lock my dimensions, and I'm going to bring this to the front so that it's in front of my other heart so I can see how big and small it is. And I'm going to reduce the size of it so that it has an outline, maybe just about like so. Alright, so that's the size that I'm going to want the heart to be roughly. So it'll look like that. Now I'm going to grab my other heart again. I'm going to duplicate it one more time because we need to duplicate everything. And we're going to combine these two and make sure they're centered, and we're going to slice them. I don't need the middle pieces, I just need the outside piece. I'm going to delete these middle pieces, and this contour of my heart, or the edge outline of it, I'm going to change to be red. So now I've got a nice outline for my heart. So the next thing that I want to do, since this is a Valentine's Day card, I want to add a little bit of text onto this. So I'm quickly going to put the nice little word of love, and I'm going to change my text because I don't like this plain color. And I have this favorite one here, the Almeida script, that I use for personal reasons. And I got it for free on the font, and if you would like to learn how to do that, there is a link below in uploading fonts to Design Space, and you can check that out if you don't know how to do that already. So I've changed this design to a nicer font, and I'm going to duplicate this because I need to have sort of two sets of the words here, because I'm going to make a little bit of a change. So I've deleted the L from the first love, and I'm going to delete the OVE from the second love, and I'm going to just put them together like this so that there's no spacing between the L and the O. And now I'm going to select them all one more time, and I'm going to weld it all together. So that I've got one sort of continuous word of love, and there's no breaks in this. And now I'm going to put this into my heart. Let's see, just move things around a little bit. Maybe like, no, it's too, maybe like so. And then I'm going to weld these together again, combine them and weld them. And now I've got the nice word of love in the middle of my heart. And that is the top layer of my shaker card. So I've got the overall design, and just to make this design a little bit less plain, I'm going to add in just a few more hearts. So grabbing another heart, I'm going to edit my shape to remove the lock on the dimensions, and maybe about that size, maybe a little bit smaller. I think that's good. Change it to the nice same red that I've got. And I'm going to duplicate a few of this heart so I have some other pieces to work with. Duplicate you again. So this guy will stay right here for now. I'm going to go back and lock my dimensions and make this a little bit smaller and rearrange them so I can see what I'm working with. I want this centered, and we're going to select these two hearts and slice them up. So I've got some center pieces and an outer piece. And I will make some of my hearts white and some of them red so that I have a similar pattern to what I have on my shaker card. I'm just group this so that I can see what it looks like. I'm going to change this one to white. Make that maybe a little bit smaller. I think something like that might be okay. Now I'm going to use the background paper that I have for my shaker heart is going to have a little bit more color and design to it, so it's going to look prettier. It's not just going to be a plain pink, but this kind of gives us an idea of some nice hearts. I'm going to add one more heart because I don't like down here. Duplicate this. Something like that maybe. So now obviously when I'm gluing this all on, I can adjust them to the spots that I want. But this gives me a nice little heart design. So this is now ready to be made, and then we're going to assemble this card. So let's hit make it and make this card. So I've cut out all my pieces on my Cricut. I used red glitter for the love, just standard white cardstock for the backing. I've got, my card is actually going to be silver glitter, and for the insert for the shaker, I used just these heavy duty paper sheet protectors from the dollar store, but you can use any type of acetate that you can buy online. I've got some links down below for that as well. And then I cut them all out. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the shaker portion of the heart. So I'm going to need this piece, and this piece to get them started. Now the first thing that I want to do is I want to glue this piece of plastic onto my heart. I've got two ways to do this. I can either just use regular glue and glue it down, or I can use my foam tape. The only thing that I find is with the glue, it takes a little bit longer to dry, but it works just as well. But if you use the foam tape or just a regular double-sided tape, it will hold nicely as well. So just quickly gonna glue this down. And now part 1 is done. So what I need to do next is I need to add foam tape all the way around my heart. I want to make sure that there's no gaps around it at all so that I don't have any possibility of the glitter coming out. So I'm going to quickly, I've just got this foam tape, double-sided foam tape, so it gives me a little bit of a space in between. I'm going to just go around with my scissors. I might need to cut some pieces to size, but for a lot of sections I've got nice parts, and I only need to go around the edge of the heart. I don't need to do the love because I want the shaker to work within that section as well. So the one thing I want to make sure before we attach the foam tape is that the plastic is stuck to the front of it, because it will kind of pull it off if it's not. So just want to make sure that's happening. So the next thing that we've got to do is I've got my card. I've pre-folded it because it's glitter cardstock, so I wanted to make sure that it folded nicely. And we're going to be doing, this heart is going to kind of go here on top of this eventually. But what I want to do is I want to figure out what colors I want to use for my glitter. So I've got some of this love and some gold hearts available as color. I've got some other glitters that I want to use just to add in a little bit more colors. I want to make sure I've got some nice color combinations here, but that one I think will work. And so I'm just going to pull out a few, and you can use any glitter or confetti that you like to make it work nicely. I think we'll do that. So this piece here is going to be attached onto this. So first thing I need to do is I'm going to add in a bunch of confetti into this shaker portion, and then I'm going to take off my second half of the tape and I'm going to stick on my heart. Ideally, I want to make a little mess. That should be good. And now I'm just going to quickly pull off my tape. Okay. Now I'm going to put on my heart. Stick it down. And the shaker portion of my heart is done. The last thing I want to do is I want to put my shaker onto my card. So I've got silver glitter and I have my card here, my heart here. I'm going to work with it fold straight for now because it will fold up on me. So I'm going to glue my heart down here, and I've got a few accent hearts that I want to put onto my page as well. And I'm going to glue these all on, sort of like so. And then my design will be ready to go. So I'm just going to quickly glue this all on. The one thing that's important to remember is with glitter cardstock, it's a little bit harder to glue things onto it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually glue on these hearts first. I'm going to press it with a book for a bit, and then I'll glue on this heart as well, and then press that. So now I have an idea where this all goes. I can quickly glue this all together. Okay, so now that my hearts are stuck down, I'm going to quickly just glue on my shaker bit, and then I'll be done. And try not to drop it on top of the whole design. And I'm going to press this again for a few minutes so that it sticks properly, just because glitter doesn't stick very well to anything. Now all that's left is to add a sentiment into the card, and our Valentine's Day shaker card is all done. I've left a link to all the products that I've used in the details below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my website to see the other projects that I've done and get additional tips and tricks on this project that I learned along the way. Thanks so much for watching.